November 20th, 2012. 7 in the evening. Bayamon, Puerto Rico. A man is sitting in the passenger seat of a black Ford Mustang. Outside a bar, laughing, relaxed, alive. Then an SUV drives by and opens fire. Hector Macho Camacho, three-time world boxing champion, one of the fastest fighters the sport had ever seen, was shot in the face. For days later he was gone. He was 50 years old. But here is the part of this story that most people never hear about. He was not even the target. The bullet was meant for someone else entirely. And in many ways, that is exactly how Hector Camacho lived. Always in the storm, never quite at peace, even when the whole world was cheering for him. Let me take you back to where this story really begins. Bayamon, Puerto Rico. 1962. Hector Camacho was born into poverty. His parents separated when he was 3 years old. His mother packed up her children and moved them to Spanish Harlem, New York City, one of the roughest neighborhoods in America at the time. By 15, Camacho had been expelled from 6 schools. He was stealing cars, running from police. He once led officers on a 30-block chase that ended when a cop knocked him to the ground and cracked his head open with the butt of a pistol. He spent a day at Rikers Island, but someone stepped in. A teacher named Pat Flannery saw something in this kid that the streets were about to destroy. He guided Camacho to boxing, and that changed everything. In the gym, Camacho was electric, fast, explosive, impossible to hit. He won his first 21 professional fights, every single one. Then at just 21 years old, he became WBC super featherweight champion of the world. The crowd went insane, and from that moment Macho Camacho became one of the most entertaining figures boxing had ever produced. He entered the ring in leopard print, in Roman gladiator armor. Once in a diaper, he said, "I'm to boxing what Michael Jackson is to music." And honestly, he wasn't wrong. He fought legends. He defeated Roberto Duran twice. He knocked out Sugar Ray Leonard, sending him into permanent retirement. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez, Felix Trinidad, Oscar de la Hoya. 3 world titles, 3 weight classes, a career record of 79 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws. And outside the ring, he was living as large as anyone in the sport. He had 15 cars, not one driver's license. He spent money like tomorrow was never coming. On clothes, on friends, on the night. His biggest ever payday was $3 million. One fight against Oscar de la Hoya in 1997. And that money, like everything else, moved through his hands like water. Because here is the truth about Hector Camacho. He never really left the streets. The streets raised him. The streets shaped him. And the streets, in the end, came back for him. His addiction to cocaine and alcohol became public knowledge years before his death. In 2005, he was arrested in Mississippi, trying to burglarize an electronics store. Cocaine in his possession. He got probation. He kept fighting. He kept spending. He kept surrounding himself with the same kind of people he had known all his life on those Harlem streets. By 2012, he was 50 years old. His career was long over. His $15 million, eaten up by legal fees, lifestyle addiction. And on that November evening, he was sitting in a car with a childhood friend. Outside a bar in his hometown, just 2 men, talking, laughing. Then the SUV came. His friend Adrian was the target. Someone had a score to settle with Adrian. Camacho had nothing to do with it. He was just there. The bullet hit him in the jaw, traveled through his skull, lodged in his shoulder, cutting off blood flow to his brain. His friend died at the scene. Camacho was rushed to hospital. For days later, his mother made the hardest decision a mother can make. She took him off life support. The murder investigation that followed was one of the most troubled in Puerto Rican history. 5 suspects were finally arrested in 2022, nearly 10 years later. Then the star witness fled the island. The case was dismissed. Today, the murder of Hector Macho Camacho remains officially unsolved. His mother said when the arrests were made, "They gave me justice. I can sleep in peace." But that peace was taken away again when the witness disappeared. She is still waiting. So here is what this story is really about. Hector Camacho was not a bad person. He was a brilliant person who never learned how to protect himself from the world that raised him. The same streets that built his fire eventually consumed him. He was generous, loyal, funny, larger than life. But loyalty without wisdom is just another way of staying in danger. The people we stay close to, the places we keep going back to, they shape our ending. Camacho had the speed to dodge every punch thrown at him in 30 years of professional boxing. But the punch that ended his life, he never saw coming, because it didn't come from inside the ring. If this story made you think about the circles you keep, the places you return to, the people who are really in your corner, then you already know what to do.